Hey, everybody. Welcome again to another episode of Commerce and Conversations, where we highlight marketplace leaders and faith leaders or leaders that are pioneering new paths for entrepreneurs. I am super delighted to be interviewing and talking with one of my good friends who taught me the game way back in the day when she introduced her company, GPI, Government Procurement Innovators, to the audience at New Birth and so many entrepreneurs who are part of our chamber and a part of the congregation. None other than Paula Watts. She's here with us this evening and going to share some great nuggets. So I just want you all to pull up a chair and make sure you don't miss anything. Write down notes and especially take note of where you can find her resources and take these courses, because I promise you, as a student and a graduate of GPI, you are going to be glad you did. Awesome. So welcome with me, Paula Watts. Paula, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you for having me. I'm always about impacting small businesses, and especially those who are in underserved communities.
Mm-hmm. So tell us about all of your history, because I know it, but I definitely want viewers and the listeners who are out there taking this in to really kind of understand how you got to where you are with this empowering message, the empowering tools that GPI offers.
Well, what I like to say is, for those of you who are out there and starting this journey, is understanding that your steps have already been ordered. And it took a long time for me to realize that now that I'm a baby boomer and now I'm about trying to pass on the information to everyone else. My background, I'm originally from Asheville, North Carolina. After college, I went to Washington, D.C. and my first job was with a company that was a part of this program with SBA called the 8A program, which is a program, business development program that was originally created for minority-owned businesses. And that's the program that's currently being one of the programs being attacked by this current administration. Right. But for me, my first job was doing event planning with the government. For a company who had a contract that was a part of the program. And every 3 years, I went with the contract because you're only in that program for 9 years. The value of that program is it's the only program that's designed to build your business for 9 years by allowing you to go to any federal agency and they can award contracts up to $5.5 million with no competition. Did you hear me?
5.5 million.
No competition. Everybody up in DC knew the game. So once I was on that contract and understood the game, I attached myself to that one contract where I went through 5 companies before I started my first business in 1996. First year in business, I received my first $1 million contract. Second year, I applied into that program, received another $3 million contract, and continually grew to grow the business to close to $15 million in contract and almost $40 million. Almost 40 employees. And that's where my challenge began, because I really didn't have a clue of what I was doing. I went from a project manager to running a multi-million-dollar company with 40 employees. Didn't have any business astute. And that's where my challenge began. Because I also had 2 business partners. One, I just called him crazy. He felt like he could run off his personal expenses through the business. And the last straw for me was a $3,000 custom-made pinstripe suit with his initials going down the pinstripe. Like, you have lost your mind.
Easy.
So I had my assistant to do an audit on his credit card. He takes her in the elevator and threatens her.
Mm.
Now I understood my role as the CEO, because at that point, all of this was on the job training.
Right.
And I ended up terminating him. He conspired with
Mm-hmm.
2 employees to sue me and the other partner for sexual harassment.
Wow.
2 years of attorney fees, $125,000 of attorney fees, $100,000 buy amount. I had no more operating cash, so I had to close the business in
Mm-hmm.
2005. But when I say God's order, as
Mm.
horrible as it was, um, I knew I didn't want no one else to go through what I went through. So
Right.
I volunteered as a score counselor for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Ran out of money up in DC, and then I applied for a position with the Small Business Administration.
Okay.
That was the office that processed all of the 8A applications, but my job was to service the businesses once they got into the program. And
Okay.
so after 4 years in Philadelphia, I wanted to get closer to my home in North Carolina. I moved here in 2012, and that's where I met Bishop Long
Amen.
through one of my proteges who I helped win his first contract for $34 million doing shuttle bus services.
Okay. Wow.
So Bishop Long, he understood the concept of it and
Mm-hmm.
wanted everyone
Right.
to get engaged. It still
Mm-hmm.
just wasn't about New Birth. As you're doing right now, it's the collective. We've got to
Exactly.
come together collectively
Mm-hmm.
to serve the same community.
That's it. At a very minimum, our own community, because we understand what's going on in the climate of the times. So yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that's what
Go ahead.
I got mad at SBA in 2015 because I realized at that point I was the only person at SBA that ever run a business. Everybody else grew up in the government. And I clearly
Mm-hmm.
remember God's voice saying to me, "You're going to leave SBA." And I remember, again, debating with God.
Mm-hmm.
But God, they don't fire you in the government, at least at that time. He's like, I'm going to make it so miserable. You're going to leave. But all that you lost in that first business, because when I closed that first business, I had almost $400,000 of debt on my back. I got rid of all my assets. When I moved here, I started from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember God
Wow.
keeping His promise of everything that you've lost. Your latter days are going to be better than your formative. What is it? Look. So that's
it. You got it. Yeah.
And so that's the funny thing about God, because He knew I was raised Catholic. I left Catholicism. So when I came to New Birth, I had no idea what was going on half the time.
Right.
But God.
Yes.
And I knew I needed to start with the church.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I realized through the experience with New Birth is that everybody comes to church, but nobody talks about what they do. And through that process, you had senior level government officials that have been going to New Birth for 15 years and nobody knew their background.
Yes.
So we've been trained in our community not to talk about what we do, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm saying you all need to open your mouth, because everybody in our community have helped build America, and they've worked in some form or fashion through the military or through these government agencies as contractors.
Right. Yeah, it is a prevailing problem that I know I've been able to identify, especially after having taken your course and understanding how much you made collaboration a part of your core, business in GPI, because a lot of people don't even understand, and you share this in your coursework, which is government contracting or securing a contract has less to do with what your specialty is or what you're trained at, and more to do with who do you know that could help you execute the contract as a subcontractor. And I don't want to speak legally, industry language, because a lot of people may not understand, but you know, the core to church is being able to have that community and then pull from each other. So I do, like you, see that aspect of it as a problem. We're not sharing, we're not communicating, we're not saying, hey, I have this opportunity or I have this issue. Can you help me? Yeah.
What do you think of Jesus? His 12 apostles.
Yep.
He was a businessman.
Right. Who are all business people. Yes, you're absolutely.
And understanding he cannot do it by himself, and we can't either. But based on the history of how we were brought here,
we do have that.
Still lingers on to this day of competing against each other.
Correct.
And in this space, there's enough money out here for everyone, and helping everyone to understand, whether it's federal, state, or local, those are our tax dollars. So for me, being in DC, I figured a way to recycle my tax dollars.
Yes.
And understanding the whole purpose of being in business is for the tax shelter. We want I want the same tax credit those billionaires are getting.
Absolutely.
But we have to understand the game and get out of our way. Right. And understand you are never going to be able to build a business if you're working in that business based on your skill set.
Right.
And throughout the last 10 years, that's really been the biggest challenge for our community.
Yeah.
Because we can't get out of our head, and I'm constantly trying to deprogram everyone to help them to understand I don't have to know anything about that contract to win. That's not my job as the CEO.
This problem, getting out of our own way and out of our heads and competition, comes from a term that Dr. Joy DeGruy coined some years ago, called post-traumatic slave syndrome, which is one of the things I am engaged in trying to reverse engineer within our churches, so that we can learn how to support each other and not fear, the fact that, hey, if I get to help you get up, you're going to be able to reach back and pull me up. You know what I mean? And there's no way we ever have to worry about being each other's competition, because I can't do what you can do, and vice versa. But we can support each other. We can, lock arms and go together. And so that allows us to then build generational wealth. Now, I know you have some ideas about, building that wealth. Can you tell us about that?
Building wealth is understanding the game. What I realized when I left the DMV area and went to the Pennsylvania area and coming here, everyone outside of that DMV area had no clue about SBA's programs and why you have the highest wealth rate of Blacks in PG County and Washington in that area, because everyone is government contractors, right?
Yep.
And so when I came here specifically, what I was realizing was all the businesses from the Washington, D.C. area was coming here to win contracts in Georgia. And you have CDC, and you have 5 military bases.
Right.
That 8A program, again, has been the gravy train, not necessarily gravy train, to creating the generational wealth that we've been denied for so long. And those businesses up in Washington, D.C. knew it. Everybody was grandfathered in. So if someone graduated from the program, they was pulling someone else up. And so now we have to play the same game. We've got to create partnerships. We've got to look at the Mentor Protege program.
Right.
That is a program that's available for all small business. Meaning you can go get a Boeing or Delta and they can be your mentor through that program. And what that does for Delta and Boeing or Lockheed, it allows them to be a small business.
Wow.
That program used to be benefit just for the 8A program.
Okay.
So now the other side is like, no, we want all small businesses to get to have this benefit. So that's the only way that we're going to compete. And that's part of what we train in the program. How do you identify that mentor? What should you be asking for? What outcome are you expecting for that from that relationship? And I'll give you an example. I had an 8A firm who came in. This was just before it turned into all small. And he had the clock on his back because once you get into the program, the time does go by very, very quickly. And I encouraged him, you need to get into the program, in the Mentor Protege program. Find your mentor. He found him a mentor. I interviewed them. I helped them get approved into the program. They immediately created a joint venture. The next year, his very first contract after being in business for 3 years was for $53 million.
Woo! Game changer.
That's generational wealth.
That's generational wealth. Absolutely. So Paula, let me ask you this. Go ahead. Please finish. Yeah.
I was just saying his whole life has changed now.
Absolutely. And he has something to transfer to the next generation, which is what we're talking about.
Correct.
Yeah. So now, speaking on the, like we previously mentioned, the current administration, how is the dismantling of DEI affecting these contract opportunities that are so lucrative? How do we maneuver now that this is,
Well,
happening?
I think that the playbook is consistent. It's never changed. Their playbook is everything is based on fear and intimidation. Yes. They are dismantling from the federal, state, and anything that has anything that look like you and me name attached to it.
Gotcha.
So, specifically for the 8A program, because that to me is the crown, the jewel of the crown. That is the only program that allows sole source opportunities. Okay. So if I'm a business owner in that program right now, I know come July, August, and September, that's the easiest vehicle for me to get rid of the money. Because come September 30th, the government has to spend all of the money. So on the federal side, it's easier for me to just get that contract to someone in that program than to put it on the streets to compete. And they don't have the manpower with all the downsizing. And what I've been seeing as it relates to the opportunities, they're not very smart. They're incompetent.
Ooh.
based on the opportunity and how they're posting these solicitations, which says to me, you have a better chance of winning than not because they don't know what they're not supposed to be looking for because they fired everybody with the institutional knowledge. So, as it relates to the DEI, I'm still telling people who qualify for the 8A program to continue to apply into that program. We're going to ride it out until it dies.
Awesome.
It's not going to be as easier as the generation that taught me. It was a good ride. But think of the generation before them. None of them had a DEI.
Right.
We've always been small business. So even now, we've got to change our messaging because they've trained us to start off with all of these certifications. I'm DBE, MBE, DBE, all these E's.
Right.
And so now I'm telling business, your message has to change.
Correct.
It has to change and say I'm a small business offering these core service areas. And by the way, I have these certifications as a contracting vehicle if you need them.
Smart, super smart, right? Yeah.
All right. They're still, it's still getting rid of the money. So for me, that's why I'm telling business as it relates for my program. Now is the perfect time. Right. So by the time you're registered in my program, because that's part of the program,
right,
you're going to be registered in SAM to do business with the government. You're going to have your marketing materials. You're going to understand the game. You're going to identify those opportunities that are specifically for small business. So for me, that's another way to start out.
Right.
You're going to hear a lot of YouTubers and influencers go get this contract, and that concerns me because I would prefer, and that's why I created the program that I did, that you don't run into the hurdles that I ran into because I didn't know.
Right.
You can't just get into this game and say my first contract gonna be a $5 million contract.
Right, that's true. Yep.
You don't have the infrastructure. You don't really know what you're getting into. So there are specific buys on the federal side that are geared for small businesses.
Right.
That are 350,000 and below. That's part of the strategy, and we're giving different call to actions to them. I hope your audience is hearing some of the call to action that I'm trying to direct them to. Look for those buys. And for me, what you're going to hear from a lot of the resource partners and a lot of SBA's resource partners and a lot of state and locals, they'll tell you to start local and start with your state. Right. And I'm okay with that to a certain degree until we get to the end of the year. Because if you're trying to go after bids from a state and local perspective, your competition is larger.
Yeah.
You're competing with a whole lot more people in that area. Where the federal side, on those types of buys that I just described, it's maybe 2 or 3 people that you're competing with.
Right. So Paula, if I hear you correctly, what I hear you saying is it's a process, correct? And the thing I love about GPI is you painstakingly take each one of the students or the participants in that program through all of those steps, just even understanding where the opportunities are, where to find them. And once you find them, how to be best prepared to put your best foot forward and bid, right? But
Yeah.
with all of the changes that we've gone through with this current administration, tell us about the steps we should be taking, business owners should be taking, or even aspiring business owners should be taking to prepare for this fiscal year 2026.
Get out of your head.
Yes, ma'am. Amen.
Don't limit your business.
Okay.
As an example, I did a cohort because I've been in collaboration with the Atlanta Black Chambers, which I truly love.
ABC.
Yes. We did a cohort last year, and one of the young ladies who had an IT background, we started that cohort in March.
Mm-hmm.
By June, we were almost through the cohort or the program, and I started challenging them, start bidding.
Okay.
Her background was IT. Her very first contract was delivering rock salt on a military base in North Carolina. She's here in Georgia.
Okay. Rock salt.
The bid was $130,000. She put a 50% markup on that contract.
Woo! Love it. Come on.
But she got out of her comfort zone because, again, business is business. It's still the same process. If I have to identify a rock salt or a janitor or landscaping, your role in this space is project management. You're managing the project.
Yeah. Man. Awesome. So I understand you also have some opportunities you want to showcase to our viewers and listeners.
Just as an example of what is currently out here right here today.
Okay.
For those of you who aren't familiar with the government website, it's sam.gov, but I use this website, samdaily.us or FBO Daily, because it's a little bit more user-friendlier than sam.gov. Sam.gov tends to give you junk. And I can go in here and every day look to see what is the government's buying. I like to say it's a shopping tool. Because it's broken down by industry, the alphabet, and by parts and equipment is the number. The source of salt phase is the market research. It's not out there. The government is just trying to find out who is out there and capable of performing on this contract. So I go through here every day and look at what opportunities are out there. And as you can see, the government buys everything. There's no need to pigeonhole myself. So when I look here, look, mortuary service. I've been trying to get someone, a colleague in Asheville, North Carolina. He has a funeral home. Start bidding on this contract. All you're going to do is partner with these individuals in Hawaii. Your project manager. So again, that's why I say the competition is not as hard. When I look here, I'm always looking at letter R. The only thing here is the ads. It's going to show what type of opportunities that were posted.
Right.
I look at American Sign Language Interpreting Services. What's in the church?
Sign ministry, American Sign Language Ministry. Love it. For sure.
You understand what I mean? I don't have to pigeonhole myself in any specific industry. So right
Wow.
here, they need exhibit booth services. How many
Yeah.
events do the church do
Oh my
and have
goodness.
exhibit booths? Huh?
All the time.
So
Mm,
there's no need to pigeonhole yourself.
absolutely. I keep
Um,
telling them everything we need is in the house. We just need to find out what's in the
uh,
house. Let's use some asset mapping.
now, right here,
Uh-huh.
just one of these low-hanging fruit. Run
Pickleball.
and done, right?
Yes.
They're trying to deal with us baby boomers, right?
Right.
And they just need somebody for that week
Wow.
that's going to manage the
An event.
the tournament.
Beautiful.
Those are the run and dones that I'm talking about.
Right.
Now,
Right.
people say maybe right here, past performance questionnaire.
Mm-hmm.
I may not have the experience personally, company, but if I team with someone with that
Yes.
experience, then I'm using their references. You're just a project manager.
Woo.
And you all have events all the time.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So getting out of your comfort zone and
Yes, ma'am.
understanding everything is transferable.
It is.
Right here, construction.
Wow.
We tend to not be able to bid on those construction projects because we don't have the bonding.
Okay.
But you can go in and do these run and done that may not require bonding.
that.
You're still using the same vendors.
Okay.
Right here. Recarpet the chamber room. Jury room.
Oh my goodness.
These are the low-hanging fruit. And I said, what was the ceiling before that? You remember? The ceiling of the low-hanging fruit? Those vibes that I said?
I don't remember.
$150,000.
Oh yes. Yes.
Keep adding 350,000. That began to add up to millions.
Right.
So
and now you got all that past performance.
Huh?
And then you have all of that past performance.
Yes. And right now, GPI has just gotten into a partnership right now with this organization that now is going to help you create a pipeline in business development.
Oh, yes.
And it's all still pulling the information in one place. So how many of us are on social media every day?
Yes. Yes.
So here, this is, and I can always click on it. And it's going to take me to sam.gov and tell me what they're looking for. This is they're just trying to figure out what businesses are out there. All they need is 2 small businesses to set it aside. But we're not even competing. This is the information that they're looking for.
That is awesome. Yeah.
So that's kind of my story. You see when you see somebody didn't know what they were doing. You typically are not going to do it. So here is the actual statement of work.
Statement of work. Okay.
So let's just see what the government is looking you to do.
Mhm. Is there,
Huh?
do you have to do any analytical, providing the analytics?
They're telling you the target
Yeah.
audience.
Wow, look at that.
And see. And
It's
now
good
here,
work. Okay.
and it's a 5-year contract.
Wow. Oh, look at that. Ooh. What's that? A 4-year contract? Yeah. Well, it has
It's a
the options.
5-year.
5-year. Okay. Quality control, entirely responsible.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these are some of the things. Again, what's the minimum? They tell you everything that they need.
Right. Man.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be with the government.
Right. Yes. So
Right.
if you've been like myself, managing clients for a number of years, their social
That's
media.
the past performance.
Yeah. And I think this is where I think we can even begin to talk about, how do folks get involved with GPI? Where can they find you? What should they be doing next? Because I think you have some opportunities.
That's a great question.
Yes, I thought I'd ask that.
I have my website, and I actually have 2 upcoming webinars. One tomorrow, where I partner again, collaborating with the corporation. I'm collaborating with Miss Carter, who comes from Georgia Power and Corporation background. And she created this boot camp last year as a pilot, because I begged her, as another way to diversify. And this young lady went through it, one of my proteges, and she won her first contract.
Nice.
So she's going to be talking about that tomorrow. And then on Saturday, I'm going to be having an information session where I'm going to go into more depth about the program and SBA and the set-asides and all of that.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Yes. So they can go to gpi.com, gpiwin.com.
GodsPlanIWin.com. How can you forget that?
Yes, absolutely. You're also on social media, correct?
Yes. Under GPI Win. And you also can definitely find me on LinkedIn.
Okay.
But I'm building out the social media. I might need a social media manager like the government.
More than I'm always glad to support my sister friends and my business friends. So anything I can do, definitely. Well, man, it's always one of the things. If you know me and you even mention government contracting, I'm going to always point you to Paula Watts, just because, number one, I know exactly what you can expect, and I know that you'll come away from those classes and just this wonderful program with a wealth of knowledge and empowerment to transfer to generate generational wealth and then pass it along. So again, I just you're my forever sister friend, and wherever I can support, I'm always willing to, and I know the reverse is true. So thank you again for sharing all of your insights with us, and I look forward to a long and prosperous relationship, including getting those contracts.
That's right. Don't be distracted by the chaos. Let's time to get the boots on the ground, and we have no time. Our future really do depend on this. I do have a sense of urgency, and the next cohort is going to start March 4th, and it's 18 weeks. 15 weeks. I'm sorry.
15 weeks. Wonderful. All right, you heard it from her. Make sure you go to gpiwin.com, sign up for that next cohort, or get in on her free classes that she offers. God bless y'all. Till next time.
Thank you.